horsepower King from the Magog family. Now, Case was the largest manufacturer of steam tractors. Jerome increased Case arrived in the United States through the St. Lawrence Seaway. He was selling threshing machines on his way. Not only he not, he sold threshing machines to other manufacturers. Somebody started manufacturing his own big threshing. Well, I'm going to go down to the farm and see threshing machines still running 2 miles per hour. What's this one on the air? Dave Ryan and John here. Watch this part. Boy, the sun's show, but you gotta want your shirt collar a little bit tight. Those are still hot when they come down. Magog family 110 horse game. Moving right out with those wire sides here.
Steam traction engine. About to put on a display of the power of steam. All right, nice job. This is Mr. Carl Tuttle from Howell, Michigan. Sounded like the clutch was slipping a little bit there, Carl. Is that correct? Give you a little history on the incline demonstration. Back in the early 1900s, at the turn of the 20th century, by 1910, there were as many steam traction engine manufacturers as there were car manufacturers in 1940. So the competition was fierce. Steam had left the rails and came to the American farm, and it started the agricultural revolution. Case, in the 1840s, had built one of the first plows, along with Mr. John Deere, as we all know. And so there was fierce competition. The plow was originally pulled by the horse, as you know, and then as the steam engine left the rails and came to the farm, the United States entered into an era of prosperity that it had never seen before. So Case, they had a very sharp marketing department. And one of the reasons they became so famous was because they were able to market their product, and then they built a good product to stand behind it. So at the 1903 World's Fair in St. Louis, Missouri, they built an incline. It was an incline very much like this, but it didn't have a top ramp on it where the engine would set. And they came up with a tagline, and they said that Case engines were the only real hill climbers. So they would take one of their Cracker Jack engineers and a Case very similar to this, and they would put that engine up on the incline, and they would hold it there with nothing but the power of steam on both sides of a one-cylinder engine. This is one of the exact same engines that was used for those demonstrations. As you notice, unlike a steam locomotive on the rails that has 2 cylinders working together, this is a single-cylinder 40-horse Case traction engine. So inside that big tube up there at the top, there's a piston. he's boiling water at the back in the firebox, and that water's turned into steam. That steam comes into the steam chest, and then through a series of valves, it is allowed on either side of that piston. And unlike a 4-cycle engine, where you only get 1 power stroke per 4 revolutions, you get 2 power strokes per revolution with a steam engine. And so when Carl gets everything ready, got his steam pressure right where he wants it, got his water level right where he wants it. Okay, we're going to come off the incline here to adjust the clutch, get it nice and tight. A source besides a DC electric motor that could start a load from a dead stop. And it is still used today in the power plants around America. It is still the only power source that can launch an F-18 off the deck of an aircraft carrier. So steam is still very much alive and well in the United States as well as around the world. Now what Carl's going to demonstrate here, in his left hand is the reversing lever. Right now he has the lever in road motion, which is to the rear. Now he will bring the engine up to the top of the ramp. The clutch sounds nice and tight. A fine job by a fine engineer, Mr. Carl Tuttle from Howell, Michigan. Now, you noticed how quickly the engine came down the incline when the clutch was slipping. Now you'll notice, he'll put it in reverse motion. He'll ease the engine just over the top of the incline to where the momentum is going downhill. The throttle is in his right hand. As soon as he feels her start to crank over the top, he'll change the reversing lever to forward motion and open the throttle. Now he's holding that engine in place with the power of steam. You'll notice he's releasing a little steam off. He's going to open the throttle. You'll notice there is so much torque on that 18,000-pound engine that the front end will get a little light. So he's going to bleed off a little steam, open the throttle. He's going to bring her back down. He doesn't like the alignment of the engine. You have a differential on the flywheel side of the engine. He's going to bring it up and he's going to hold it right there on the incline. Almost. Just got to hold it right on a quarter there on the crank disc. Get ready for your pictures, ladies and gentlemen, and there you have it. That engine is holding without brakes, with nothing but the power of steam on the opposite side of that piston, holding it in place. A fine job. We can give him another hand. You got a whistle on that engine? I know Craig doesn't want to take his hand off that steering wheel. All right, ladies and gentlemen, they're going to bring the engine off of the incline. You want to go up one more time, Carl? All right, we got a great crowd here today. We are honored to have you with us.